The rules are simple.
Every week, we watch a new movie.
Then, we discuss it.
Welcome to Weekly Cinema.
Hello guys, and welcome back to Weekly Cinema. I'm your host, McKenna Coleman, here with my co-host,
Gabe Late.
and our producer, who's sitting over there, Zane. Woo!
Yeah, hello, I'm here.
He's here.
So, today we have a bit of a switch up. Again, we are so sorry. I know we said we were going to do Blade Runner 2049, but we ran into some issues,
Some difficulties, yeah.
we are now doing Deadpool.
Yep.
Deadpool is a rated R movie about 1 hour and 48 minutes. It came out in 2016. The director is Todd Miller, and it stars Ryan Reynolds, Marina Barkarin, and TJ Miller. The quick synopsis that IMDb gives me. A wisecracking mercenary gets experimented on and becomes immortal, yet hideously scarred, and sets out to track the man who ruined his looks.
Okay, you just said TJ Miller.
Yeah.
That just clicked something for me. Okay, I knew he sounded familiar. Okay, so he was in Ready Player One, but his voice is most recognizable from the Emoji Movie. If you've seen that piece of cinema,
I have.
Then you'll know. Yeah, he's also from Big Hero 6, which is also where I recognize his voice from. But no, that's... Oh, and How to Train Your Dragon.
Really?
Maybe voice. Oh, I know who he voiced. That's right. I forgot his name, but I know exactly who he voiced. It's a Tough Nut. Yep. Yeah. He has such a good animated voice. I don't know why. But all right. Anyways, yeah. All right. So yeah, we're watching Deadpool. Very excited to talk about it. We're talking about Deadpool. We already seen it. So this is gonna be the first Deadpool we're talking about. Later on down the road, we'll talk about the second one, and then when the third one comes out, we'll be sure to talk about it. But before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. Season 1, episode 10, the final episode of this podcast for season 1.
Those of you exclusively to Spotify, we have another bonus episode coming out after this.
Mm-hmm. We have one more bonus episode.
But then season 1 will end.
Yes. And then whatever happens to season 2, we'll figure it out. But for now, all we're worrying about season 1. And that's it. It's been a great season. It's been fun doing this podcast the later half of the year. Sophomore year. And now we're going to be juniors, and it's going to be crazy. Whoa, wild. But no, this has been fun to do. Watched a lot of movies I never thought I would ever watch. And can't wait to see where it goes. So for now, let's send this off with a bang. Let's talk about Deadpool and dive right into it.
So we are now going to give our reviews, and you guys know the rules. The rating out of...
It's 5.
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
5. No, 10. Sorry. Rating out of 10 stars.
10. Yep.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. But...
You think by now we would know.
I know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So, Gabe?
Alright, my quick review for Deadpool. I've seen every single Marvel movie. Not any of the spin-offs, like X-Men and stuff I haven't seen, but I've seen all of the main storyline Marvel films, and I have so many favorites and least favorites. We can do an entire episode talking about every single Marvel movie, if you ever happen to sit down and watch every single one of them, and we could have a talk about them. I could talk about them for ages, because Marvel is such a hit-or-miss company. I mean, it has some great movies.
A bunch of Marvel movies. I'm not sure if I've seen every single one.
Right.
But I have seen a lot of Marvel movies.
Yeah, and it has its ups, has its downs. It has some really, really good movies, some really good ones I could talk about endlessly, like Guardians of the Galaxy. All 3 of them are incredible. Of course, the Avengers movies are really great. The Spider-Man movies are really great. But then there are some awful ones, and that's, unfortunately, it takes up the majority of the Marvel films. So I'm never really sure going into a Marvel film what's about to happen, if I'm going to like it or not. And Deadpool was incredible. I really, really like Deadpool. It's such a funny movie. Ryan Reynolds is incredible, perfect casting for this guy. To play, it's Wade, right?
Yeah.
Wade Nelson?
Wilson.
Wilson?
Wade
Wilson, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Wade Wilson. So he's the perfect person for that. He just has that perfect, like, you know, that tone, that voice. Oh, it fits the character so well. But the movie's great. The action sequences are sublime. I've already seen the second one. McKenna hasn't, so I'm trying to make sure I'm remembering only what happened in the first movie. But it's a perfect mix of comedy and serious moments, and it's just and also a great superhero action film. You know, Marvel, I definitely think Marvel needed that rated R movie, for sure. Everything they do, they always are restricted by that age rating. So this was a nice movie to let them go wild and do whatever they wish. So I'm going to give it, out of 10, a solid 8 out of 10. Really liked it, really liked it. Of course, you know, you just got to put it on a scale compared to other movies you've seen, what type of movies you prefer. I think 8 out of 10 fits the range perfectly for me. And that's not saying it's bad or anything, just, again, comparatively. And thumbs up, massive thumbs up. I really enjoyed the movie.
I have a bit of like a in-between rating for this.
Okay.
It was a great movie. I loved it. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely in the high range movie rating. So I'm gonna say 8.5 to 9, somewhere within that.
That's good.
But it can shift.
Okay.
Massive thumbs up. This movie, I was about to lose my voice from laughing so much. Because I gotta hand it to Ryan Reynolds. That was amazing. That is incredible. It's so funny.
So great. So great.
I liked it though. It was great.
You liked it? Yeah. Me too. But I'm curious. What do the critics say? Because you know how they are with superhero films and horror movies. So I'm curious to see what they said about Deadpool.
Alrighty. Rotten Tomatoes, 85%. IMDb, 8 out of 10. Metacritic, 65%.
Christ.
And on Google, 85% like the movie.
Oh my god. Okay, so pretty much everything was in the 80s range and on par with what we said.
Metacritic.
And then Metacritic. Freaking Metacritic, bro. Like, you never fail to be the outlier. Oh my god. I'm genuinely curious.
Just stop using Metacritic.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're not a valid source at all. They're, dude.
Just every time you see Metacritic on the screen, just skip it.
So, I'm genuinely curious. Is Metacritic user or critic reviews? Because I know Rotten Tomatoes critic reviews. Like actual professional film critics. But I know IMDb is like a mix of like professional and people.
We collect reviews from the world's top critics. Each review is scored based on overall quality. The summarized weighted average captures the essence of critical opinion. Sorry.
Alright, so just nonsense. Anyway, okay. Metacritic, I don't care anymore. Alright?
You suck.
You're awful. You're so awful.
You suck.
God, if I ever become like a film director, and I get like my movie becomes like rated by Metacritic, I'm just gonna like completely ignore them. Like just completely.
Just like no, thank you.
Like if I have to have a screening for like critics to watch and get like ratings on,
don't invite Metacritic.
I would make sure there's like security guards out front checking. All right, are you from Metacritic? No, you're from IMDb. All right, go in. Are you from Rotten Tomatoes? Okay, go in. Metacritic. As soon as Metacritic shows up, immediately like arrested.
Just
and,
have the bouncer
just sent out of like there. Just no.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, aside from that, it seems pretty on par with what we said, which is I mean, it's fair. I think this is really fair. It's just a high tier superhero movie. Of course, it's not a perfect 100. I mean, it's not a cinematic masterpiece, but it's a movie that you can have fun with and enjoy. And I really
It is definitely high up there.
Yeah.
But I'm curious.
Okay.
What do you like about this movie?
All right. So again, I've seen the second one, so I'm gonna have to think. Okay. I love the comedic action sequences. The director, Tim Miller. Also, he's good at making like action movies. Because I'm pretty sure. What is it? No. No. Wait. I forgot about that. I think Deadpool... Yes. Okay, so Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2 were made by different directors, which is very interesting. David Leitch made Deadpool 2, and he's the one who made Fall Guy, Bullet Train, which is like my favorite action movie ever. Bullet Train is so good, dude. So good. If you haven't seen Bullet Train, you would love it. You would love it if you love Deadpool. But
I don't know if I trust you.
Oh, this time you could trust me. Oh my god, Bullet Train is so good, dude. It's so good. It takes place on the bullet train in Japan, and it has Brad Pitt as the main character, and he's like, I don't know, it's so good. And it's like a perfect amalgamation of everything. But Deadpool 2 was made by that guy. And so Deadpool 1 is made by a different person. So I'm trying to remember like the styles and differences and stuff because we're not talking about Deadpool 2, we're talking about Deadpool 1. And he made the Terminator Dark Fate movie, which iffy. But Deadpool, I liked the action sequences mixed with the comedy. Like that, of course, the beginning sequence is awesome. The one where he has a certain amount of bullets and he's shooting everyone is like, let's count down. And he shoots them, yeah, and then...
Bad Deadpool.
Bad
Good Deadpool.
Good Deadpool, yeah. And then he gets, he gets shot in, you know. And it's so funny because it's like that perfect mix of like, just very inappropriate comedy, but they don't go too far with it. I mean, they actually have fun with it and make it so it's not annoying and just you're like, just like, oh,
it's just
God.
funny.
It's fun. And of course, his superhero uprising is perfect. My favorite thing about Deadpool and all the Deadpool movies is the meta-ness of it, which means how he keeps breaking the fourth wall. It's so good. I mean, every time he looks at the camera directly, talks about like a movie reference or a niche reference, even the intro credits it just says, it doesn't actually show the credits of the movie, it just says like made by this guy and it just made, here. I don't know if you paid attention to the credits of the movie.
I did. It's like douchebag films.
Yes,
starring a British villain.
A British villain. Yeah, it's so funny.
And that's what I was going to mention too. I love the credits.
Yeah, starring God's perfect child.
And then it has the magazine.
It's so good. It's so good. Alright, but that's the bell, so we'll return when we get back. Alright, so we're back from the bell, and I think there's nothing really more to say. I mean, yeah, I was talking about the meta and breaking the fourth wall and stuff. That is definitely easily the best part of Deadpool, and that's what makes it super unique. But other than that, what do you think?
That's like Deadpool's entire gimmick.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm gonna mention the credits again because it's just hilarious, honestly. And seriously, if you watch this movie, pay attention to the credits. It's just great. It's like starring a British villain as God's perfect idiot with the magazine cover of Ryan Reynolds on it.
So good.
And just the slow motion thing that's going on there. It's funny.
I
And
know.
the music choices are so great too.
Right. Yeah.
I love the music choices.
Yeah.
And it's like they come at the perfect moments that you're just like about to lose your mind and like crack up.
Yeah.
Or as others say, pee your pants.
Right. Yeah, it's incredible. It's so good. So good.
But and the comedic timing again, it's so great, and the cinematography of some shots as well. There's a lot I could say about this movie, but that's just some of the things I like about it.
Absolutely. Very good.
But now let's shift.
Okay.
What are your dislikes?
Oh man. If we ever rate a movie above 7 on this podcast, it's so hard to find dislikes sometimes. Because it was
very easy with.
There's certain movies, of course, but
no, I'm gonna say you know which movie.
Of course, I know which movie. What other movie on this podcast did we absolutely dump on more? No, I don't pay attention to that stuff when watching a movie. I don't focus on what's wrong and what's wrong that's happening. I mean, it's hard. It's hard sometimes to really think. But of course, we add that question to the podcast because it brings on thoughtful discussion. It brings on interesting, debate. And trying to think of it, I mean, going through my head, I don't know if there's anything I can really think of that I can say I dislike. because it seems like such a movie that was also very thoughtfully planned out. Didn't have any bad acting, didn't have any, mess ups or anything like that. Everything was really funny, and if it was a mess up, I'm pretty sure it was intentional. It's a movie that was definitely made sure it was perfect by the directors. So other than that, the only thing you could say that you really don't like is if it's just you don't like the movie and all. That's it. Of course, let me think. No. I can say another thing I like. I love the blind grandma. That's so funny.
Oh yeah.
She's a great character. But there's nothing else I can think of.
I don't have anything really either. I mean, it's too hard.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to just knock on it, but it's It's like
we're great critics. We are.
Yeah. Listen to a couple of high schoolers.
Yeah. You can't say a thing they dislike about a movie. I'm sure there's so many things people could talk about this movie that it did wrong, but nope, not us. Not us.
Yeah, because we don't nitpick here.
Yeah, we don't. We're not like some critic companies, Some
Wow.
certain people.
There's one I could think
Not
of.
some very meta.
Not some. Yeah. Not some really critical, meta type of people. Metacritic. Anyways, all
I
right.
feel like Metacritic is just a front for that. You guys remember the comic book guy from The Simpsons?
The Simpsons. Yeah.
I've never
I
seen
feel
The
like that's
Simpsons.
his business.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Worst movie ever.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. All right. Favorite. This is a very quotable movie. So favorite lines, scenes, whatever. We'll go back and forth because I know we're looking at the same thing. So go ahead.
I'm gonna start with Francis, where are you?
Yeah. That's
And the picture that just says, "Hi, I'm Francis."
I am Francis. Yeah. Dude. That's good.
I have a couple more, but if you want to go first.
Yeah, no. I think the one that I was asking about because when I think it's the opening when he's explaining Deadpool and it's like that voiceover and he's like from the studio that inexplicably God, that's a tough word.
We are looking at the same thing.
Yeah, from the studio that inexplicably sewed his mouth shut the first time comes 5-time Academy Award viewer Ryan Reynolds and an eHarmony date with Destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you me, Deadpool. I think my favorite line of that from the studio that sewed his mouth shut. That's funny. But 5-time Academy Award viewer. Because Ryan Reynolds has never won an Academy Award, but he's definitely been to a lot of the shows and has spectated. 5-time Academy Award viewer is so good.
What about this one? Okay. I know you're right. You're probably thinking, who did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I'll tell you his name. It rhymes with Wolverine.
Yeah. I love the weird connection between Deadpool and Wolverine that is showcased throughout this movie, and Deadpool too. It happens a lot.
Well, that's why the third one.
And that's of course why the third one they end up meeting up, which is gonna be it's gonna be so great to see. So funny. I'm excited. Dude. Who's fondled? Oh my god. Dude, that's so good.
And when he's it's the first sequence, I believe, somewhere within there. The guy falls down from the side and he goes, he was already up there when I got here.
Oh yeah.
Like the dead guy just falls.
He was already here when I got here.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, let me see. Dude, I can't say half of these.
That's why I kind of maneuvered the other one.
Oh my god, this one, dude.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you.
Oh man, I'm looking over them.
Because I said 2 in a row. Go ahead.
Oh, I love how they give like an explanation for his suit when the blind lady was saying use seltzer water and lemon juice for the blood, or just wear red. And it's great because of course that's why he wears red, because he can regenerate every part of his body. He's very easily. He's almost immortal now, and he does bleed though. And to hide that, he wears red, and that's genius. That's really genius. I like how they explain that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there's so many good moments and scenes. I've never seen an IMDb page that has that long of a quotes page, but no, it's such a good movie. So the writers probably had a ball.
I got two more.
Dude. Go ahead.
And I'm crying so hard. I'm sorry. So funny. You're about to be killed by a Zamboni. Tell me where your boss is, or you're gonna die. In 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes. I know that was good. That
And
was
he's
really
going
good.
slow
He's just
on
riding the Zamboni across the hockey rink. Oh my god.
I get why you're so angry. Your mood's never gonna brighten. Till you find this woman and tell you how I feel. What do I keep telling you, Miss Magoo? She wouldn't have me. If you could see me, you'd understand. Looks aren't everything. Looks are everything. You ever heard of Dave Beckham speak? He's like a mouth can of helium. You think Ryan Reynolds got this far in a superior acting method?
Yeah.
Love is blind, Wade. No, you're blind. So you're just gonna lie there and whimper? No. I'm gonna wait till this arm plastered puberty and I'll come up with a whole new Christmas Day plan.
Anytime he references like himself, like Ryan Reynolds as like another person, it's so funny. It's so funny. Oh man.
This movie,
Yeah, like the jokes and everything. I mean, the writers, props to them. They probably had so much fun writing this.
and
movie.
also, some of those lines were maneuvered a little bit because you cannot say some things. We are still with
Oh yeah, of course, dude. We wouldn't be able to say it otherwise. This is definitely a rated R movie, that's for sure. But Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, great job. I mean, the writers, man, great job. Had a great time.
So let me where is it?
You have some trivia.
I got some fun facts and some trivia.
Sweet.
I just gotta find whatever the heck the tab is.
No problem. While you're doing that, I can talk about today's sponsor.
Okay.
There's no sponsor.
Go ahead, some sponsor if you want to. Go talk about. Oh my God! Why do
Today's
I want to say
sponsor.
Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, today's sponsor is Nicolas Cage, also known as Ryan Gosling, I guess. He's watching over us right now. I'm staring into his soulless eyes.
Okay.
I love Nicolas Cage. He's such an enigma. You never know what he actually is.
Number 1, and I'm gonna explain these too because they have a little bit more writing than just the facts.
Okay.
The writers were so risky because they expected Deadpool to get canned.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There are several scenes in Ryan Reynolds' films that had a hard time making it out into an R-rated film, and there were tons of backlash from parents who didn't do their research to only expose their kids to some pretty graphic violence and sexual humor.
Yeah.
The reason for Deadpool is only ever getting more extreme, that the creators just kind of assumed Marvel would get tired of them eventually and shut the whole thing down.
Wow. So they were really just pushing the limits, constantly. They just weren't holding back, which is great. That's why it came out so great, because they were just being super risky. That's good. That's really good.
This next one's kind of funny.
Okay.
He fittingly shared a voice actor with SpongeBob in a video game. Just because it seems like a very Deadpool thing to mention, Deadpool has shown up in a good few video games over the years, getting his very own game released around the time the first Deadpool movie came out. The game had tons of issues and been taken down from almost every digital storefront as a result of licensing issues. But if you can still find copies physically, another game that Deadpool showed up in is Marvel Superhero Squad Online, which is voiced by Tom Kenny, the voice actor for SpongeBob and Ice King from Adventure Time.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. Interesting fun fact. That's pretty neat. Wow.
We almost got a completely different take on him in the film. When we first see Deadpool in the films, he was experimented on essentially in the exact same program used to turn Wolverine to who he is today. In the X-Men Origins Wolverine, Deadpool is part of the team Wolverine was added to in the early days as a mutant. Although we really don't see him do anything, at the end of the movie he's activated and tries his best to kill Wolverine.
Whoa, interesting. See that they might come back to that though in the next movie. That's cool.
And last fun fact, and then we'll move on to some trivia.
Okay.
He's one of the few Marvel heroes who speaks ASL. Deadpool might have been a mute in X-Men Origins Wolverine, but they're overlooking one small part of his history as a comic book character. Deadpool became the Merc without a mouth after having it sewn shut, so the writers were forced to derail their movie on the account.
Whoa, interesting. So he knows ASL. Well, that's cool. That's really cool. Good for Deadpool.
Good for Deadpool.
Good for him. Sign language is difficult.
Okay.
It fascinates me. It really does. I don't know how people do it. Props to you. It's cool that our school has an ASL class, though.
I know. But, I don't...
It's definitely useful if you have someone in your life that's deaf. But that's neat. That's really neat.
When did the character Deadpool first appear in Marvel Comics? 1988, 1990, or 1992?
Okay, well those dates are really close to each other. I'm not enough of a Marvel fanatic to know that. 1988, 1990, and then 1992. Yeah, it's literally 2 years each from each other. I don't know. 1990.
Yep.
Wow, that was a very lucky guess.
Yeah.
1990. Interesting. I don't know what other comics came out then. Before you move on, what fascinates me about Marvel is how there's like the entire future and the entire universe is already written out in the comics because that's all they're doing. They're just adapting the movies from the comics. So there's still so much material that Stan Lee made that is yet to be covered, and we can still find out the future of all the characters if we wanted to by reading the comics.
Oh yeah, the gracious cameo from Stan Lee himself.
Yes, that was a really funny cameo. I'm glad he had a cameo again. That was good.
In the bar.
Yeah, I miss those days when he was in the Marvel movies, but rest in peace now. But no, it blows my mind because like watching movies like shows like Loki. Don't get me started on Loki. I love Loki so much. WandaVision and Loki are like my favorite Marvel shows. One of my favorite shows in all. It's so good. Did you see Loki? Did you see season 1?
I saw part
of it?
Loki, and I saw part of WandaVision. I have never watched the shows in their entirety. I plan to. I never have.
I think you would like, just like Fallout. I mean, I think you would like Loki. But I don't think you would like WandaVision. Maybe you would, I don't know. WandaVision's really cool though. It was the mystery of WandaVision that made it cool. But it's just stuff like that, like there's such interesting concepts and I thought they came out of nowhere, but I looked it up and they still came from comics. Like there was still a comic about Loki and about TVA and about WandaVision, all that stuff, and it blew my mind. I mean, it's crazy how many Marvel comics there actually are and how you can literally get spoilers right now if you wanted to of what's yet to come with Kang and stuff, which is falling apart right now. Marvel is kind of in a rough state because the actor for Kang, they had to fire. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Marvel, but yeah, iffy.
I'll go with a very easy question now.
Okay.
Which character says, "Okay, guys, I only have 12 bullets. You're all gonna have to share." I'm not even gonna give you the multiple choice because it's too easy.
Deadpool. Yeah, that's pretty easy. That's pretty easy. Great lines.
What is the name of the blind Deadpool character who was Wade Wilson's roommate? Blind Joe, Blind Pat, or Blind Al?
I know that one. It's Blind Al. Yep. She's great. She's so great. What a great actor.
Now, last one. In the movie, what age does the title character says he wants to reach before dying? 82, 102, or 92?
Fun fact, Blind Al, the actor who played that, is also in Fallout. But I think he said, was it 102?
Yeah.
I thought so. I remember the number 102 for some reason from that movie, and it stood out to me. That makes sense.
Alright.
Sweet.
So, that's it, guys.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it. Wow.
We did it. We are at the end of season 1.
Well, Deadpool was great. Thank you for tuning in for Deadpool, because Deadpool is a great movie. Really enjoyed it. But, dude, you know, now we're done.
It's insane.
So we don't have a movie to say for next time, so next time we'll just pick a movie, but we'll figure out what happens with that. But for now, that's all for season 1. That's all for this room. You will not see us in this room probably for another year if we do come back to this senior year. But yeah, this is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it for season 1 of Weekly Cinema. So thank you for all your support on the channel, on the Spotify. Avon Lake Productions, give it up for Avon Lake Productions. They have graciously, of course, let us use this room, provided us with these materials to make this podcast what it is, and it truly was a fun experience watching movies, you know, talking about them. It's been great.
Now, if and when we pick this back up in the summer for season 2, you will see very different setup, and it will be done in a very different way.
Right. No matter what happens, we're not going to talk about it now. But you can expect, if we do this for this summer, again, everything's uncertain because of course we're not going to have as stable as an environment as we did now with this. But if we do come back to it, just keep a lookout. Make sure you follow us on Spotify and YouTube and have notifications on so you can see us, you know, when we post this episode. But for all of you watching on the Avon Lake Productions channel, and who's been tuning in here, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Weekly_Cinema on YouTube, and follow us on Spotify. There's going to be one more bonus episode released after this for all of the past 5 episodes for the final episodes of season 1. But after that, and after this, we did it. So our final remarks for the season.
It's been a blast.
It's been
honestly.
a blast, yeah. Go ahead, here, what do you want to say? Your final words.
I honestly couldn't imagine doing this with anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, because being the good friends we are and being the movie buffs we are, I think it's great. It's great just to talk about it and just like unravel movies together. I think it's great. It's been a ride. I watched some movies I never thought I would, like Gabe said in the beginning.
Yeah.
He got me to watch a horror movie.
The Shining. My favorite episode still. Mike, we'll miss you, Mike.
And our friends got us to watch Donnie Darko.
Mm-hmm.
And our other friend got us to watch Wonka.
Yeah, there's been ups and
Horrible
downs.
CGI. I cannot get over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That random giraffe, I also cannot get over. But no, I really think that this has been quite the experience.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I loved it, and I love doing it, and I want to continue doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta say, this has been a really fun experience. Learned a lot, experienced a lot. It's been really great. And as you said, perfect co-host. I mean, we contrast each other actually really well. We do have a lot of similar opinions. We have similar hatreds. Metacritic. That's all. Metacritic. Metacritic exists. And no, I mean seriously, it's great to talk about movies. We have our similarities, but we also have our differences. My favorite movie of all time is one of Hurley's favorite, and I mean that's all you need to know. I mean that really shows this is the perfect environment for a discussion like this.
Interstellar.
In case you didn't know, but no, it's been fun. It's been great. I mean, really enjoyed this season, that's for sure. And of course, we got to give it up for Zane over there. Our producer, our one and only. We got to give a big thanks to Zane because he has graciously tuned in for the majority of the episodes this season, has been managing the audio, giving his remarks to. Great other character to have on this podcast. So thank you Zane. Any final remarks?
Nope. I got nothing to say.
That's all. Okay, make sure, is that in frame?
All right. Kind of. Yeah.
Kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
We'll be fine. Well, that's all for today's episode of Weekly Cinema. Thank you all so much for watching, and tune in for the last bonus episode. But for now, that's all for Season 1, Sophomore Year of Weekly Cinema, and we will see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone.